This book, as you know, it's a big book. It's a book one, but it's a huge book. It has more than 500 pages. The book has 5 units. I think we're in the fourth unit right now, and I do want to finish this book this summer. Based on the pace, my past experience, and the way I teach, I'm not sure if it's doable, but it's definitely not doable in once a week. Unfortunately, this month I cannot do much. I have to do once a week, but following month I might add a day extra because the book does give you lots of words and lots of readings. So inshallah, let us start with our new lesson. It is ad-darsu thani wal yashurun. Okay, so this is not your first lesson. This is 22nd lesson. Ad-darsu thani wal yashurun. We spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time with the numbers, right? So if you're still a little bit rusty on the numbers, review those numbers because the numbers will come back a lot. And the title of the lesson is Hawla al-Ma'ida. Okay, so Hawla al-Ma'ida. So what is Hawla? I'm not sure if we got this one before. Around. Okay, good. Hawla is around. Excellent. But let me warm up and warm you guys up as well. Why do we have a fatha here? Remember I said the default is always Dhamma, right? If we don't have any context, we always put a Dhamma. It is because it is dharf. Remember what we said? Dharf is dharf is always dharf is an adverb. Adverbs come in as a fatha. For example, we say qabla. Okay, we say qabla. Why do you say qabla? Ba'da, amama, tahta. You see, there's always fatha. That is because they are coming as an adverb. Adverb takes a. What does an adverb takes? It takes a fatha. Again, these are a little bit advanced concept. Whatever you understand is fine. So what is Ma'idah? Yeah, so I got answer: table cloth, table spread, table. Yes. So this all, when you say table, just think about food. When you say Ma'idah, think about food. Wherever you present the food to eat, that would be Ma'idah. In the modern context, Ma'idah would be translated as what? Dining table. Okay. So now, so the full translation would be around the dining table. So it starts by saying تجتمع الأسرة حول المائدة 3 مرات في اليوم. Okay, long sentence, but a lot of these words we have seen before. Okay, so the first one, we have a verb تجتمع. This verb comes from, I will give you the root of the past and the present, and then you will understand. I will explain what's going on. اجتمع. اجتمع. There's the past tense. And the present tense is what? يجتمع. يجتمع. اجتمع يجتمع. So what is اجتمع means? Yeah, so اجتمع means to gather. Exactly. So when we say يجتمع, we've talked about this one. This ya represents that we're referring to a masculine. And so and this ta is represent feminine. So who is gathering? We're talking about the gather. So this is a present tense. Who is gathering? Usra, family, excellent. So the family is gathering. And how do we know the family is the subject? Because it has a dhamma. Okay, so I'm giving you a lot of grammar. I don't know why I'm giving a lot of grammar explanation today. We have a lot of things to review, but these are the things that we have done in the past. I'm pretty sure I have spoken a lot about this concept, and they will be super important now because the sentence getting bigger. In order to understand the meaning, you kind of have to know the subjects and the objects and all of these things. Otherwise, you'll be confused. So now we know the usra is the family is the one that is gathering. Where are they gathering? حول المائدة. Okay, so they gather. Remember, when we say يجتمع or تجتمع, the present tense, we can say in two ways. We can say they are gathering, or we can say they gather. So the family gathers حول المائدة, around the table, ثلاث مرات. I think we had this kind of expression a lot before. ثلاث مرات. So what is ثلاث? We know three, right? So this is three. So what is مرات? مرة. مرة is time. And we have مرات. So this is a what? Plural. Three times. في اليوم. In the day. Remember, al-yom can also mean today, but here from the context, we know it's not talking about today. It's talking about the day. So what do we have? We have تجتمع الأسرة حول المائدة 3 مرات في اليوم. The family gathers around the table 3 times a day. Okay, so this is clear so far. Just make sure that you understand the verb. You can recognize the verb and make sure you understand why this is ta instead of ya, or other letters that we have for the mudare, for the present tense. And make sure you know how to identify a subject by looking for. Right now, I'll give you a simple trick right now. If we have a verb in this level, the chances are like 99% chance, if there is a subject mentioned, it will be right after it. Okay, so the subject will be right after the verb. So you don't have to hunt too much because, in the Quran and other places, it's not always like that. The subject can come way, way later. But here, if you find the verb, just look for the subject. See if you can find the subject. And then if you see a Dhamma, then you know that's the subject. And the next line we have تجتمع لتناول الطعام. Okay, so now look what's happening here. You found the verb. Now I just told you look for the subject right after the verb. So I have a word right after the verb, but is that the subject? Is litanawul is the subject? No, because it doesn't have the, how do we know, how do we verify? Because we're still looking for a noun. Number one, subject is always a noun. We're looking for a noun, and we're also looking for a dhamma. So now that we know this verb does not have a parent subject, like a subject that is given to you. So how do we understand? Then we have to translate this one as a pronoun. So let me go through the whole thing, then I'll explain. Li tanawul. Tanawul, it is the same, it comes from the verb. I think we had this verb before, and we're gonna have this on the verb a lot of times. Tanawala. Tanawala. Tanawala is the past tense, and the present tense is yatanawalu. Yatanawalu. Right? So tanawal is what anybody remembers is a very important verb. What did we say? Consume. Okay, to take, consume. Yes, good. And it has many different meanings, but here we can explain as a consume, to take. Yes. Now, but is that what we have here? Look at this thing that I wrote. I wrote tana wala, and is the past tense, and yatana wa lu is the present tense. But what do we have here? We have tana wul. What is that? We don't have this thing. We have tana wul. What is that? Noun. Good. It is the verbal noun. This is the verbal noun of, again, complicated subject matter, but I have to explain this is the noun of this verb. Okay, just like, for example, you can say to walk, I am walking, he walked, but then you can use the walk as a noun also. The walking was great, infinitive verb or something like that. So it is basically verbal noun. So this is what they are using it here. So a lot of things. Yes, masdar in proper Arabic word is masdar. Yes. So we have a preposition here, right? Let's analyze this one. We have a preposition for li is for, tanawul, and then we have at-ta'am is food. Now, as you can see, if you're paying attention, this part is mudaf ilayh. This is a position construction, right? So we will say for eating of the food. This is a very lame way of saying it, but you understand, to consume food, for eating food, however you want to translate. So, but my question is, how would you translate now, especially with tastamir? So, who is eating? Yes, they, exactly. So that's why I said this is very little bit tricky. Okay, so it will be translated as they. You understand? But in Arabic, the family, because it has ta, they will be using ta to refer as a single family. Inshallah, I think I mentioned this, but don't worry, will come across these things a lot. Next, we have tatanawalu. Now we have tatanawalu, right? So this is the present tense. And this is kind of confusing. Remember what we said, the ta usually, for example, this ta represents uh, present tense to indicate the she or you. But the verb itself has a ta in the past tense, right? So that's why we have two ta. Now this ta is referring to for the present tense, she, and then we have tatanawal, right? Uh, so it says tatanawalul usratu. Now that we have the verb, and remember what I said, look for the subject if you can find it right after it. And as you can see, we have the subject al usra. So we said tatanawalul usratu, the family consume al iftar. What is al iftar? We have been taking iftar for a whole month. Fi sabah. Sabah is the morning. So the family takes or consumes or eats breakfast in the morning, right? Wal ghada. What is ghada? Ghada. Anybody knows what ghada is? Lunch. Yeah, yeah. I think you're close. The reason why you say ghada is ghadan. Ghadan is tomorrow. Yes, ghadan is tomorrow. Now, so they take lunch ba'da dhuhr. See, ba'da, it's adverb. That's why it's getting fatha. After dhuhr. What is dhuhr? Dhuhr is the noon. So they take the lunch after noon. وَتَتَنَاوَلُوا الْعَشَاءَ فِي الْمَسَاءِ. And they say, now we don't have the pronoun, we don't have the subject, so we have to use the pronoun. Okay, so and they consume or eat, what is asha? Dinner or supper. So memorize these, all four of them together: iftar, ghada, and asha. Okay, so you have the breakfast, you have the lunch, and you have the dinner. And when they take the dinner, fil masa. And then also, I think this is really nice because both the meal and the time is they have put them together, so you can memorize it like that: iftar and the sabah, and you have ghada and zuhur, and you have asha and masa. And this one is easy to understand, asha. Why? Because it's similar to what? When you say asha, it's similar to what? The prayer that we pray, right? Isha. Exactly. So now it's talking about the evening time. Okay, so clear so far? Any questions? Then we have as-sa'atul ana al-thaniyatu wa nisf ba'da dhuhur. As-sa'a. What is as-sa'a? Oh, masa is evening. Masa is evening. Okay, masa is evening. So sabah is the morning, masa is evening, and this is noon. It means the time. The time, al-ana. Anybody remembers al-ana? This is so important word and we use it so often. Now, yes, the time now is what? Athaniyatu wa nisf. Guys, the numbers. We had spent a tons of time doing these time related numbers in previous lessons. So athaniya is, what is athaniya? Athani or ithnain. Ithnain. Okay. Ithnain is the two, and athani would be the ordinal number, right? We have the cardinal number and we have the ordinal number. So this is, remember we mentioned that when we talk, by the way, guys, if these numbers are really, really confusing, or you're like, I don't know what's going on, please watch the previous video. That's, I'm not sure which chapter was it, but we spent at least 2 or three maybe lessons on going to from the beginning, how to say first, second, and how to say the times. Okay, this whole sentence was there somewhere. How do we say the time now is, right? So thani is the second one. Nisf. What is nisf? Half. Yes, nisf is half. So yeah, exactly. So it means 2:30. But when AM or PM, it's saying PMY because it is clarifying that this is ba'da dhuhr. So this would be PM, right? Now, clear guys so far? Next, we have hana waqtul ghada. Hana waqtul ghada. This word hana is a very interesting word. Anybody know what hana means? Hana is, it's like something, you can think of something that's approaching, something that is coming. When it's hana al-waqt, the time has come or the time is there. It's time. It's time to do something, right? So this is a meaning is very interesting. So make sure you understand how we use it. Hana we use as the it's time to do something. Time to do something. What is time to do what? Waqtu al-ghada. Okay, waqtul ghada. It's time to take lunch, right? So basically, I think in English we would probably translate it's time for lunch. If we really want to translate this part, hana waqtul ghada, we will say it is time for lunch. Time to, I'll just write time for. Yeah, I think I'll just write time for. I think this would be better meaning. Okay, so then we have al-ummu tu'iddu ta'am. Okay, al-ummu tu'iddu ta'am. So the word that you're probably trying to find out is what is tu'iddu means. So this is another very, very important word. All of them are important words, guys. This is right now is the words, the vocab is going to overwhelm you. And if it doesn't overwhelm you, you're either too good, you shouldn't be in this class, or you're not paying attention. It has to overwhelm you. Yes, good, excellent. Tu'iddu means prepare. I think we had this word before, but I'm not sure, but good. The past tense is a'adda, a'adda. Okay, so we have hamza, a'adda. And the present is yu'iddu, yu'iddu. So this is also not your standard three-letter verbs. You might be saying, well, I see three letters. Who can tell me how many letters we have in this verb? Because remember, the three letters verbs are the standard. Most of the verbs you're going to get three letters. Most of the verbs we have gotten so far are three letters. Yes, four letters. Excellent. Why? Because the dal, we have two dal. Okay, the shadda, that means there's actually two dals. Now, and I think I mentioned this is really tricky stuff. So there's no point for me to say it because you will not get it anyway. But one of the things is that when we have a four-letter verbs, the past tense and the present tense will always take kasra, the first one. Okay, so we have four letters. It will always, because most of the present tense is what? Fatha. Tatanawal, fatha here. Tajtamiu, fatha here. All the present tense, it will always be fatha, except for the four letters. Okay, the four letters one will always take dhamma. So we say tu'iddu. We don't say ta'iddu. We say tu'iddu. So why we're saying instead of yu'iddu, we're saying tu'iddu? Because we're talking about what? We're talking about al-um is referring who is preparing? The mother is preparing. So that's why we say tu'iddu. We don't say yu'iddu. Excuse me. If it was al-ab, then we will say, yeah. Yes, good. Yes. The hana, it exactly what you're saying. It convey the future, something that is coming almost near, but not quite. That's why I'm saying it's time for. So it is time to do certain things. I think to make you guys' life easier, just because in Arabic they will say qaruba, qaruba. If you go to dictionary, they will say qaruba. That means it's approached, but it can also mean that it is the time, So I think for now, the best translation, I think it's the time for. Inshallah, you will see some of the words you will learn by the usage. The hana is one of them. So then we have al-bintu tusa'idul umma. Lots of good stuffs coming here, right? Al-bintu tusa'idu. So here's another verb. Verbs, verbs, verbs. What is tusa'idu? This is a sa'ada. Sa'ada. Yes, sa'ada is to help. Excellent. Now, I have a question for you guys. Is this 3-letter verb, 4-letter verb, 5-letter verb? 4. Excellent. So there's a 4-letter. So what did I just mention before? If we have 4-letter verbs, what is the first haraka of the present tense verb? Yes. So now we are getting the 4-letter. The present tense will be a dhamma. Okay. So that's why we say yusaidu. Okay, let me write it. Yusaidu. We're not going to say yasaidu. Okay, we'll say yusaidu, and that's why we have dhamma here. And the ta is, of course, coming because of the bint. So the sa'ada, yusaidu, means to help, right? So the daughter, the bint is the daughter, right? The daughter, remember, bint can also mean girl, but you have to know the context. The context, we're talking mom, that you have a mother here. So of course, we're talking about the daughter. The daughter is helping who? Al-um. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly why there's a fatha here, right? Yes, object always gets what? Gets a fatha. Now, so we have al-um. The mother is saying, Hayya ya Fatimatu jahizi al-ma'ida. Okay, so hayya is something, an expression. Let's go. You're asking someone to do quickly something. That's hayya. Ya Fatima. So we had this ya a lot of times, right? So we have ya Fatima too. Let's go, Fatima. Jahizi. Here's the verb. Jahizi al-maida. So what is jahaza? So the verb is jahaza. This one is hard. Yes, to prepare. It's to be honest with you, this jahaza and adda, they have the similar. To prepare, to get ready, they have the similar meaning. Okay, so now the verb is jahaza. Now I have a question for you guys. Now come to think of, the author is very smart here. How many letters are in this verb? 4. Yes, don't let the shadda fool you. So if it's 4-letter and I'm telling you this is a past tense, so what is the first letter of the present tense? Will be a dhamma. Okay, so it will be yujahizu. It will be yujahizu. But now the form that we have here is, it's what? Who can tell me? Just think of a common sense perspective. If the mother is saying, let's go, Fatima, prepare the dinner table. Yeah, so this is a command verb. So that's why this thing is not following any of the pattern, because if you look clearly, don't underestimate this haraka. These harakas are very, very important, because we have fatha here, but this is a kasra. So what we have here is actually jahi. You have a kasra here. So here I'm telling you this is a command verb. So we have jahiz would be command verb. Now we have another problem. When you say jahiz, it is you're commanding to who? Masculine. Yes. So remember this part, I think we have covered a little bit. We touched upon a little bit that for feminine, we have to add ya. Okay, so that's where the ya is coming. Jahizi. Then we have Fatima. Now the Fatima is saying, Hal ada'u li kulli wahidin tabaqan ya ummi. Hal ada'u li kulli wahidin tabaqan ya ummi. So the Fatima is saying, it's a question because we see the hal, we remember the hal. So it's asking, what is the ada? This is another verb. It's a little bit tricky verb because this verb changes a lot. The verb is wada'a. Wada'a is what? Anybody know? But this is a verb you should know already. Wada'a, I think we have seen it. And we have ya da'u. Ya da'u. What is wada'a? To put. Wada'a is to put. Okay? Wada'a yada'u. So now it's why is it Hamza here? Who can say why is Hamza? I, exactly. So Fatima, she's saying, will I, the question is, should I or should I put? Okay, hal ada'u li kulli. What is kul? We know this verbs for every. So li is for kul. Kul, just learn like this. Kulli, li kulli wahidin means for everyone. So wahid is one, everyone. So kullu wahidin means everyone, but we have li, that's why we have to put a kasra, li kulli wahidin, for everyone. So what is she saying? Should I put for everyone tabakan? What is tabak? That one I expect you guys to know also. We have studied this one before. Plate, excellent. So plate, ya ummi. See, the thing is, you cannot blame the book, because a lot of I really appreciate what the book is doing here, because most of the nouns, guys, the most of the nouns, if not all of the nouns, they are coming from what? The past, from the chapters before. So under any circumstance, the book is trying to give you overburden with the nouns. The focus is what? The focus is on the verbs. So see how cleverly these things are planned. Everything, all the vocabs are coming from the, so you just without the verbs, every sentence structures also something that you should be familiar with if you're following through the books. So only thing is they're trying to give you is the verbs. See the verbs, learn these verbs, understand the different forms of the verbs, even give you a little bit of the masdar, the verbal noun. So this is the beauty of this book, okay? And if you can learn like this, the way I'm giving it to you, verbs, if you know the past and present, you will be a very good shape, okay? So from all the words that we know, we can easily translate. The Fatima is saying, should I put for everyone a plate, or mother, mother, whatever, right? Is clear? No. So, and then we have the mother saying, Naam, yes, da'i. See, what is da'i? So this is a command verb. Now, this verb, I told you, I don't know if you've listened to my lectures, not from this book. I give another lecture about uh, the weak verbs. Weak verbs are very complicated. So this is one of the weak verbs because it has wow. So what happens in the command verb, just for now, for this class, all you should know, the wow drops. So you say da. That is the command. Da. Put. If I'm telling to masculine, I will say da. Al kitab huna. Put the book here. Okay. Da. Tabakan huna. Put the plate here. Right. So, but same stories, but now I'm talking to a feminine. So I will say, I have to add, yeah, da'i. So the mother is saying, Naam, da'i aidan shauka. See, I told you the book is not giving you any new words. What is shauka? Wa mil'aka wa sikin wa sikina. Every single word we had them before. Shauka, yes, all the utensils. So shauka is what? The fork. Milaka is the spoon, and sikin is the knife, right? So it's all about the vocabs. Excellent. This is a very good reading, actually. And when I'm done, inshallah, next time we'll complete these things. Want you guys to still put in a piece of paper all the verbs that you have gotten so far, and put them the way that I give you, from the past and the present. At this point, you should be able to change the gender or the subject for the, at least for the present tense. Okay, so we had tanawala, yatanawalu, ijtama, yajtamiu, right? And what else did we have? We had adda, yu'iddu, right? What else did we have? I think we had something else here. Wada'a, yada'u, right? So, and as for the command verbs, if it's too much, leave it for now, but you should still understand what we explain with the yeah. Okay, is it clear, guys? So inshallah, next time, next Saturday, we will complete the text and probably do a lot more. As I said, I really want to finish this book this summer, so maybe following week or week after that. We will be doing twice a week if we can. Inshallah, this book is extremely beneficial. Okay, do not underestimate this book. But you will only get benefit if you know the vocabs. Okay, focus a lot more on the vocabs and the grammars. I how many times I repeat the same thing, like a broken radio. So just use me as to review your grammar, but I cannot help you with this about the vocabs. So you pay attention to vocabs, and inshallah I can inshallah help you with the grammars, right?